You know what time it is. Hey Siri, play Feel Good Inc. by Gorillaz. Oh my god, she actually did it. Rapids win 3-0 over the Fredericton Red Wings in a thrilling rivalry game. This was the cream of the crop. It's everything you wanted and more, plus Loic Nadeau getting his first career MHL shutout. That was such a fun game to watch and to be right in the midst of the action of course. Oh boy, where do we even begin? This game starts off, a lot of people were thinking, it's a Wednesday night game, it's blah, I don't want to have to go to the rink this late and whatever. And I'll bet you're glad you went to the rink, didn't you? This game starts off pretty even. The Rapids did not allow the first goal in the first minute, first 5 minutes, first 10 minutes. They didn't allow a goal at all. And that's something that we've been talking so much about this season, is allowing the first goal in those early stages of the game. And yes, Fredericton is a bottom tier team, but don't let that distract you from the fact that they played gangbusters tonight. Scoring opened up. Derek Bird on the power play gets his 10th of the season. Braden Campbell with a beautiful assist on that. Jonah Leard getting the secondary assist in what was a fantastic goal. And I have to give Derek Bird full credit on this. He pounced on that opportunity and popped it right into the net. The power play struggled. We talked about that in the pregame show, how it was basically almost a non-factor, and how crazy it was that they weren't generating much scoring chances or many goals on the power play, but they cashed in big time on this one. I believe it's going to be their only power play goal of the game. Yeah, it was their only power play goal of the game, but the second period starts, and 8 minutes in, Patrick Baxter gets his 8th of the season. Nathan Plemondon-Michaud gets the assist, and Will Morrison with the secondary assist on that one. It is 2-0 for the Rapids. Now, again, we talked about capitalizing on those opportunities where their defense makes mistakes. Fredericton in this game, they made their fair share of mistakes. They had a couple of hot-headed plays that, if it weren't for the Rapids power play, could have really cost them a lot. And that's something that you really have to take into account too, is the way that Fredericton played compared to Grand Falls. They came out there, they just weren't really, you could see that they weren't really motivated. They didn't have as much energy, and the Rapids just completely took advantage of that and annihilated them from start to finish. So Patrick Baxter gets that one. Later on in the game, it's going to be the last 3 minutes, or the last 2 minutes and 13 seconds of the game. Jonah Leard buries his 23rd of the season. Cole McWilliam and Will Morrison getting the assists on the empty net goal, 3-0. Now, we talked a little bit about how it's starting to get to that point where you get to enjoy the hockey a lot more, because yes, they're not quite as close to the playoffs, and you're really starting to see the core next year that the Rapids are building up start to take shape, right? You're starting to see the guys who want to be here and the guys who are playing to be here. The other thing is, you're starting to see your vets, your overagers, shine bright in the way of, you saw McWilliam getting involved in a lot of plays. Morrison had a pair of assists in this game tonight, and he was out there blocking a lot of shots, being fantastic on the back end, as we know he can be. Now, that's something that is going to be dearly missed, and I, for one, am super excited to see what the next chapter is going to be. But for now, I'm enjoying the last little bit of hockey that we're going to get to see these guys in a Rapids uniform, because games like this, you're going to miss that going forward. And it makes you, almost in a way, it makes you appreciate these guys more because of what they put in, not just on the ice, but for the community. And tonight was just a perfect example of that. The Rapids fan base showed up, cheered them on loud, and look where it got them. It got them a win. I want to talk a little bit about Loic Nadeau now. Came into this game, came into the season as the backup goaltender. He's a rookie, has played phenomenal this year. Does not get nearly enough credit for what he does in the crease. Is just a fantastically athletic goaltender and somebody who is a great guy. I got the chance to do a little bit of a post-game interview on the ice. You'll see that video very shortly, but just getting to witness him play at a level that you've never seen him play mentally before. He was dialed in. And we saw this with Adam LaCour last year and some parts of this year as well. When you get hot, you get dialed in, nothing's going to throw you off your game. And that's exactly what we saw from Nadeau tonight, is the fact that he just hit the start button, didn't stray away from anything. There were a couple of opportunities where Fredericton could have scored. He stood tall and made sure that those pucks stayed out. Man, when I was talking to him about what it means to get a shutout, to not just, in front of the home fans, the thing that really got me was the fact that he basically said that, this team, they cracked the losing streak and it was a lot of pressure coming off of their shoulders. Thankfully, the Rapids were on a 9-game losing streak. Not one regulation, overtime, nothing. Not one win in those last 9 games. They finally go out there today. Doesn't matter the team that they played. They came out and they put their hearts and souls into it. There was not one player on this Rapids team that didn't contribute in some way, be it generating scoring chances, making an epic back check, delivering huge hits that we saw guys make. Anton Topolnitsky, again, a guy who's just fantastic. He's very freaking tall, too. A guy who's just been a fantastic defenseman since he got to town. And has been able to lay those massive hits. And that's something that, again, the Rapids are going to need going forward with, the guys like Will Morrison out of the lineup. And you have your guys stepping up in Anton Topolnitsky and Jack Brown, obviously, who are going to be back next year, presumably. And that's something that it makes you really start to appreciate it more, is that they're honing their skills, not just for the rest of the season to put on a great show for the fans and to play for their team, but they're also starting to prepare themselves for next year and for that grueling challenge of what can we do to get this team better. So that's something that I was very excited about. Super happy with the way that this game turned out. It's going to be a little bit of a shorter one today because it is getting relatively late after the game. Super excited. The Grand Falls Rapids come away with a huge win against the Fredericton Red Wings tonight, and one I'm sure that will go down in the books for ages. This has been the Bellefleur Tire Shop Grand Falls Rapids postgame show. Tyler Rains with you as always, and we will see you back here on Friday night, back at the rink for the Bellefleur Tire Shop Grand Falls Rapids pregame show, when the Miramichi Timberwolves roll into town to face off against the Rapids for one of the last times this season. Stay tuned, get your tickets, and cheer loud and proud. We'll see you then.